Now here's where the second the second type or the second general form of the input statement comes in. Okay, let me clear this. The second type, so the first one we saw, variable equals input, simple, right? When you say input, this statement waits, and when the user hits an error, it stores the value in that variable in form of a string, right? The second general form is variable equals input, and within parentheses you have a prompt. We have a prompt, okay? The prompt is optional, as we have seen, so we can have input without prompts as well. Okay, no prompt. Okay, but it's generally nice to have an input with a prompt. A prompt is nothing but, generally it's a string that asks the user for an input. This is just so that the statement is helpful. Okay, so this is to improve user friendliness. Okay, improves the or increases the user friendliness of the program. Okay, the prompt is optional, and the prompt can be a literal, a variable, an expression of any type. So the prompt can be an integer literal, integer variable, integer expression. It can be a float variable, float expression, float literal. It can be string, can be string. It can be a boolean. Okay, but whatever you pass, the Python what it does is it first prints the prompt, and then it waits. Okay, it first prints the prompt and then it waits. And normally the way we use the prompt is that we instead of a literal expression, instead of ints and floats and on booleans, we use a string. We use a string that is helpful in a way that it asks the user it tells the user what to do. Okay, so let's modify our previous program, and instead of printing this, okay, what we will do is let me copy this string and use it as a prompt. Okay, let me control X for cut. I don't need the statement anymore. And what I want to do is a equals input and enter a number. Okay, so when you run this program, okay, just notice a few differences. Okay, before I actually click on the run button, look at this. So previously we had enter a number, then a new line, because prints always end in new lines. And then I entered 4 and hit enter, and then it said the square of 4 is 16. Now when I run this, a equals input enter a number, look at what happens. It says enter a number. Okay, so whatever you pass here, it will print. But the difference with print is it does not go to a new line, it stays in this line. Okay, also there is no space. Okay, but that's my fault. Okay, so you enter a number such as 4, it prints just right after the number. Okay, right after the R in the number. So but it still works. Okay, enter a number 4, the square of 4 is 16. If you want to make it pretty, and you should actually, you should make your input and output as nice as possible. Okay, so what I normally do is enter a number and then I give a colon, like so, colon and a space. Okay, enter a number, colon, space. Now when I run it, it looks much nicer. Enter a number, there's a colon, there's a space, and then that's my prompt. And I can enter a number such as 3, and it would say the square of 3 is 9. The square of 3 is 9.